Right now, over 760,000 Americans are collecting their social security checks from outside the country. Portugal, Panama, Greece, not Florida. That number is up almost 19% in the last decade. And here's why. The average American over 65 now spends $5,119 a month just to cover basic living costs, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. A recent nationwide survey found more than half of the retired Social Security recipients have already started cutting discretionary spending, and nearly a third are cutting essentials, groceries, and medications. That's not what you worked your whole life for. The people who figured this out early left. They're living better, better weather, better healthcare for a fraction of what it costs at home. In today's video, we cover the 5 best countries for Americans to retire abroad in 2026. Real cost of living, the exact visa you'll need, the healthcare situation, and the one thing most people get wrong in each one. There's a full side by side comparison at the end, so stay through to that. Welcome to Eagle Flight, where your new life starts here. Before the countries, one number that reframes everything: $5,119 a month, average for an American over 65. That's $61,000 just to get by. Every country on today's list costs 34% to 71% less than that. Some of them, your social security check alone covers comfortably. The average benefit right now sits around $1,900 a month. In most of these countries, that's rent, food, healthcare, and money left over. And the part that most people don't realize, you don't lose your social security by living abroad. The US government sends that check wherever you are. One more number, and this one actually surprised me. A recent poll found roughly 117 million Americans, about a third of the country, say they'd like to settle somewhere else. This isn't a niche idea anymore. It's a financial decision a huge number of people are quietly making. The earlier you start planning, the more options stay open. Let's get into the list. Number one, Portugal. And if you looked into retiring abroad at all, that's probably not a shock. What might be is how fast this has accelerated. Interest in retiring there is up 900% year over year. Over 5,000 Americans a month are searching for how to move there. Portugal isn't a hidden gem anymore. It's still one of the best value destinations on the planet. Though, and here's why. Cost of living. A couple can live comfortably in Portugal for $1,500 to $2,000 a month. Rent, food, transport, entertainment, all in. Smaller cities like Porto or the Algarve often come in lower than that. The Algarve was ranked the second best retirement haven on earth in 2026. 300 days of sunshine a year, Atlantic coastline, and a cost of living nowhere near what you'll pay for the equivalent in California or Florida. D7 visa. The main route is the D7 visa, often called the passive income visa. You need to show a passive income of at least 920 euros a month, about $1,000 from a pension, social security, rental income, or dividends. 5 years of legal residency gets you eligibility for permanent residency and eventually citizenship. Here's something to watch out. You'll need a Portuguese bank account and a tax ID before you can even submit your visa application. This is exactly where most people get stuck. A full step by step D7 visa guide is coming soon. Subscribe so you can catch it. Portugal's public healthcare system is rated one of the best in Europe. As a legal resident, you get access to it at little to no cost. A lot of retirees also carry private insurance as a backup. Compared to US premiums, it's cheap. European lifestyle, a genuinely good weather, the food, and a welcoming expat community, and a clear path to permanent residency, around $1,500 a month. That's hard to beat. Number two, Spain. And here's the number that matters most. Spain's healthcare system ranks 7th in the world. The US ranks 37th. If world class medical care is anywhere near the top of your priority list for retirement, and it should be, that gap alone makes Spain worth serious consideration. Cost of living. A couple can retire comfortably for $2,000 to $2,500 a month. Pick a coastal city like Tarragona over Madrid or Barcelona, and you get the same lifestyle for noticeably less. Americans use the non-lucrative visa, proof of sufficient income, typically around $2,500 a month for a single applicant, showing you can support yourself without working in Spain. 5 years of continuous legal residency, then permanent residency becomes an option. One thing to watch out: The visa needs renewing every year for the first 2 years and then every 2 years after. It's not a set and forget process. Budget time annually for paperwork and consulate appointments. Legal residents can access Spain's healthcare system, the one that outranks the US by 30 places. Private healthcare exists too, and it's affordable by American standards. European culture, Mediterranean climate, healthcare that beats what you get at home, Spain belongs on that shortlist. Number three, Panama, specifically Boguete, the mountain town. The credential first. In 2026, Live and Invest Overseas ranked Boguete the number one retirement haven on earth. Not top five, number one out of every country. For Americans specifically, there's a practical reason why Panama makes this list. It uses the US dollar, so no exchange rate risk, no conversions. What's in your bank statement is what's actually there. Cost of living? A retiree in Bogotá can live on roughly $2,400 a month, about 53% below the US retirement costs. Mountain air, green scenery, a real expat community, and the Atlantic and Pacific coasts within reach. Panama's Pensionado Visa is one of the most generous retirement visas anywhere. A lifetime pension of 1,000 US dollars a month qualifies you. Social security counts. Full stop. The perks attached to it are real too. Discounts on healthcare, hotels, restaurants, and airlines. One thing to watch out, Panama does not have a tax treaty with the US, unlike Portugal, Spain, and Greece. Your US tax situation gets more complicated here. Find a US expat CPA who specifically knows Panama before you move, not after. Panama has some of the best private healthcare in Latin America. Internationally trained doctors, modern facilities, and costs a fraction of US prices. Panama is the most practical, most affordable, most dollar friendly option on this list. If staying close to the US and keeping costs low matter most to you, this is your answer. Number 4, Mexico. Puerto Vallarta on the Pacific coast. The headline number, healthcare costs 60% less than in the US. That alone changes the math for a lot of people. Mexico is also the closest major destination on this list. Most American cities are a 3 to 4 hour direct flight away. If staying close to family members, nothing in Europe competes with that. The cost of living. In Puerto Vallarta, a couple can live comfortably around $3,300 a month, still meaningfully less than most US cities, and with a full beachside lifestyle attached. Smaller coastal towns push that number down further. The temporary residency visa requires proof of monthly income of around 1,400 US dollars. 4 years gets you permanent residency eligibility, one of the shorter timelines on this list. One thing to watch out, Mexico does not have a full social security totalization agreement with the US the way European countries do. Get a clear US tax filing plan sorted before you move, not during. Healthcare. A well developed network of private hospitals and clinics serves expat well, at costs far below US prices. Plenty of American retirees keep a basic US health plan for major procedures back home and use local care day to day. That combination works. If familiarity, proximity, good weather, low healthcare costs, Mexico makes a strong case. Number 5, Greece. And honestly, this is one most Americans are sleeping on. Multiple retirement experts are now calling it the best overall retirement destination in the world for 2026. Not top 5, number 1 overall. Over 300 days of sunshine a year, living costs roughly a third of what Americans will pay at home. Crete specifically ranked among the top retirement destinations globally this year, and a quality of life that's genuinely hard to believe at this price point. Cost of living, a comfortable lifestyle, rent, food, transport, leisure can run to $1,500 to $2,500 a month. Outside of Athens, somewhere like Crete, the lower end of that is achievable. One of the best value destinations in all of Europe. Greece financially independent visa requires proof of stable income of at least 2,000 euros a month, around $2,200. It's higher than Portugal's D7 minimum, but the cost of living gap more than closes that out. 5 years of legal residency, then permanent residency. One thing to watch out, Greece does have a tax treaty with the US, which helps. But buying property comes with its own legal complexity. If you're planning to buy rather than rent, get qualified local advice before signing anything. The public healthcare system is accessible to legal residents, plus a private sector that's affordable and high quality. Most expats mix the two, public for routine care, private when speed matters. If ancient history, islands, food, warm people, and one of the lowest costs of living in Europe, Greece might be the best kept secret in Americans' retirement planning. Here's the comparison I promised at the start. Take a second and find where you land. Portugal, estimated monthly costs 1,500 to $2,000. Minimum visa income 1,000 US dollars per month. Visa type D7 passive income visa. Path to permanent residency 5 years. US tax treaty? Yes. Spain, estimated monthly costs $2,000 to $2,500. Minimum visa income $2,500 per month. Visa type non-lucrative. Path to permanent residency 5 years. US tax treaty? Yes. Panama, estimated monthly costs $2,400 a month. Minimum visa income $1,000. Visa type Pensionado Visa. Path to permanent residency immediate permanent residency. US tax treaty? No. Mexico, estimated monthly costs $3,300. Minimum visa income $1,400 a month. Visa type temporary residency. Path to permanent residency 4 years. US tax treaty partial. And finally, Greece, estimated monthly costs $1,500 to $2,000 a month. Minimum visa income $2,200 a month. Visa type financial independent visa. Path to permanent residency 5 years. US tax treaty? Yes. For lowest costs, Portugal and Greece are the front runners. Closest to home, Panama or Mexico. World class healthcare, Spain. There's no single right answer here. It depends on your budget, your timeline, and what retirement actually means to you. 5 countries: Portugal, Spain, Panama, Mexico, Greece. Each one offers a retirement most Americans can't access at home for a fraction of the cost. Tell me in your comments which one caught your attention and why. I read every one, and your votes decide on which country gets a full deep dive next. If Portugal is the one for you, the full step by step D7 visa guide is coming soon. Application, documents, the national ID, the bank account, all of it. Subscribe so you don't miss it. If this video was useful to you, a thumbs up takes 2 seconds and helps us reach more Americans who need to hear it. 760,000 Americans have already made this move. The only real question left is whether you're next. Until next time, spread your wings and fly.